Okay. Do you want to say something, Natwari, Tarangi?
Yeah, so my name is Natwar. I attended this course in year 2000 in India. And when I came and, I visited Con Temple, I came to know that, we are also having this course here. Back then, I always wanted to read Bhagavad Gita. I started many times, but then, there was no direction. I will read something, I'll not follow, I'll keep the book down, and then it kept on going for multiple years. Then when I attended this course, it gives a very nice overview of the whole Bhagavad Gita, and it will really help. And it helps. It has helped me a lot. Reading Bhagavad Gita actually every day and know where what to look for. So, and we have very nice teacher. I can call Swapnil. So. Yeah, so we will go through this journey together. Hopefully, know each other.
So, thank you. Do you want to say something?
No, I just want to add one thing. Like, I was in the same stage where you are right now. Out of, curiosity, I attended one of this course, and I get into that. And after that, I realized the value of it. And like, yes, talking you said, I'm not worried the mastermind behind all these things. He came up and then we tied up together, made a team of volunteers and started. So in past also we have hosted many sessions like this. We were earlier in mountain, so we were used to have that. So yeah, I mean, for me, it's just seeing the perspective of life after this. It helps a lot in day-to-day problems as well as many other ways. So yeah, I'm very positive that it will impact you in one or other way, and it will make your life at least one step better than what you are taught. Because I'm just sharing my personal experience, and very genuine and honest.
Thank you, Tarangi. Khushi, you want to?
I'm sure this one is a beautiful journey. Everybody has given introduction for this session and for upcoming sessions. I think one good thing about this course is there is no dumb question in this all the sessions. You can ask anything related. Everything is good, and I'm sure everybody will be happy to answer all the questions. Thank you and welcome once again.
Okay, so welcome again, everyone. Just to, before we get into the introduction to the course, I'll just give a brief intro to myself as a formality. On the professional side, I'm a software engineer. I also work at Meta, as many of you. Before Meta, I used to work for PayPal, and before that for Oracle. And I had come to the US in 2014, did my master's till 2016. So that's on the professional side of things. But the best thing that has happened to me in my life is that I came in contact with the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. Somehow, by some inconceivable good fortune, I came in touch with this chain of temples called ISKCON that promotes the teachings of Bhagavad Gita on a wide scale. So many people have taken to the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, Sanatan Dharma, just because of the efforts of ISKCON. And by some inconceivable good fortune, I also came in touch with ISKCON during my first year of bachelor's in 2009. And that was the best thing that has happened to me. In comparison to that, other things, even though, coming to America, the land of hopes and opportunities, was one of the good things, getting a good job, education from a good university. These things are also good, but when compared to the fortune of coming in contact with Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavad Gita outweighs everything. So yeah, I feel very fortunate, and in this journey, I also look forward to growing together with you. Personally, I don't consider myself teacher or anything. I'm just here to make friends with you. And I too look forward to learning from you. So, yeah, what outcomes can we expect from this course? We can get knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita and the perspective that the Vedic scriptures, Vedic literatures share with us. Is there some echo? Okay, thank you. So knowledge, then practice and application. How do we apply this knowledge? That is also something that will be covered in this course. Then getting a spiritual experience. What does it mean to lead a spiritual lifestyle based on some spiritual principles? So experience, and then service. We can develop a genuine desire to serve others. There is plenty of service in this world to do, but what lacks is the attitude to serve others. So yeah, we can expect these outcomes from this course. Next, yeah. So a good news for you. If at all you get bored with me, you don't have to lose hopes from this course. We will have multiple teachers who will be sharing with us, who have also been practitioners for a long time. Then just wanted to give you tell you about some arrangements we have for you. We have drinking water here. Restrooms are there at the back. Anytime you feel like using, please feel free to. Then question and answers, which we consider Q&A to be a very important part of the spiritual journey. In fact, the whole Bhagavad Gita is in the form of question and answers. Who is asking the questions and who is answering them? Would someone like to point out? Arjuna and Krishna, yeah. Arjun is asking the questions, Krishna is answering. It's a natural dialogue. In one sense, Arjuna is steering the dialogue, and Lord Krishna is answering. And that conversation, which happened just over around 1.5 hours or so, it has guided mankind for eons. What a great book the Bhagavad Gita is. So yeah, we definitely encourage questions and answers even during the course. It's just that sometimes some questions may not be so relevant to that particular session. We may defer it to the next session, or we may defer questions to the end of the session. So I hope you don't mind that whenever we do that. And now, does someone remember what is the topic for today? Happiness, yeah. And what about happiness? Okay, yeah, you got it right actually. Yeah, that, sorry. In. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, these are all correct answers. The specific title for today's session is In Search of Happiness. So, yeah, before we get started with our topic, I wanted to show you one picture, and I'll request you to analyze this for a few moments and think about it. What does this indicate? Does this picture indicate something? It's all in the mind. Yeah, wonderful. Any other thought?
The boss was conditioned when he was weak and the fear was big. But even now, if he for that thing, but still it is that mental obsession that he cannot move on.
Yeah, wonderful. He must have been conditioned to that being tied to a chair. Yeah. Anything else? Okay, wonderful. So, this picture is illustrative in many ways, and it's quite relevant to our search for happiness as well. Many times we may also feel restricted and conditioned because of some preconceived notions of happiness, which may not which may not let us experience our full potential that we have to be happy. And the Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures in the Vedic canon, they point us to a realm of much more happiness than what ordinary activities can offer. So, uh, would you like the door to be closed, or is it? It's okay. Okay, so now we'll ask you one question. Let's take a few brief moments. We can close our eyes and just for around 30 seconds to 1 minute, let's try to think, go back in the past and think about some moment where we were happy, really genuinely happy from within. Shall we all do that? Small exercise. Yeah. Okay, if you have found your answer, you may feel free to open your eyes. So, yeah, we would like to hear from some of you. Anybody who would like to raise their hands and share with us what came to your mind. Yeah, yeah, Jyotsna ji.
And see now, just before that, when I was talking to my 5-year-old and she tell me what picture games.
Oh, nice, nice. You have two daughters, is it? Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Anyone else?
Pretty much the same for me as well. Just before coming here, playing with my kids, about the same age, 6 and 3. I think it's, kids don't have, generally they're happy. And that kind of brings the happiness in the world.
Wow, wonderful. Yeah, their kids are innocent and they express whenever they are happy or whenever they are not happy, openly express it. Okay. Anyone else? Anil ji? Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah.
Able to breathe without any pain in the body, able to sit here, to follow you. Nobody is giving me stress, nobody is asking me to do anything else. No voice coming,
Nice.
no emails coming, no things coming, phone is away. Without any notification,
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Wonderful. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. So now yeah, we have seen this picture already. So one more thought on this picture. Now that we have also done the exercise, we can analyze this picture with a different perspective as well. So we tried to go back in the past and trace out when were we really genuinely happy. So one thing we can see is that we are not happy all the time. We have to go back in the past and see. So yeah, that certainly indicates there are some factors that obstruct our happiness. And if we see this picture from that perspective, yeah, just like for this horse, some conditioning, some preconceived notions he or she has keeps that horse bound to the chair. Even though that horse can easily run away, that chair is nothing before that horse. But still, the preconceived notions or ideas are keeping that horse bound. So the Vedic scriptures give us access to a higher realm of happiness. Now, we see among human beings, we see various kinds of activities. We see students going to universities to study. Most of us are doing jobs here. Then there's tourism. Hmm. We see so many tourists around. San Francisco, we get to see many tourists if we go there. Tourism, then what is this? Marriage. We see so many different types of human activities. Through all these activities, what is one looking for? If we want to describe it in one word, what is everyone looking for? Happiness, yeah. So we see that everyone is looking for happiness through all activities. Rather, living entities want to be happy all the time. Uh, have we come across anyone who is intentionally trying to run after some misery? I want some misery today. Too much of happiness now. We don't see that. So everyone is looking for happiness. Now, who everyone? Is it just all of us, or just all of us sitting here in Fremont, or maybe more, the entire Silicon Valley? But is it just restricted to that, or all human beings? Yeah. And is it just human beings? All living beings, actually. Yeah, everyone is looking for happiness. Animals too are looking for happiness. In fact, we will see in some future sessions, where does this desire to be happy come from? In short, I can just share it right now. It comes from our spiritual nature. There's this term called Satchitananda. Many of you may have heard before. So that's the nature of every individual living being, every living force. And the desire to be happy comes from that essential quality, inherent quality, unchangeable quality that cannot be taken away from anyone. It comes from that. And we will talk more about that later. What is that conscious force, and what the Gita tells us about our spiritual nature, our spiritual existence. We will come to that. Okay, we have discussed this already. So practically everyone wants to be happy. There's no one who is looking for being unhappy. In fact, there's one beautiful sutra in the Vedanta Sutras, Anandamayo Bhyasat. Everyone is looking for happiness. Everyone is essentially happiness seeking. So not just our observation, but even the great saints and sages, even the scriptures which are composed of words revealed by the divinity to mankind, they too fully vouch for this fact that everyone is looking for happiness. Now, as we did that exercise, we saw, yeah, it's not possible to be happy all the time. We have to trace back in the past and look for moments when we were actually happy. So, yeah, we know that we already know the answer to this question. Are we actually happy all the time? No, in one sense. So, is there some pinprick that's stopping us from being happy? Would someone like to give some answers? What could be factors that don't allow us to be happy? Yeah. Yeah. Huh? Job, stress. Yeah, jealousy, it's a big factor. Though it's happening internally, we may not externally show it, but yeah, it's a big cause of unhappiness. Yeah, comparison, jealousy. Yeah. Subhashji, you had a point?
Yeah, I think when you're not in control of the situation, it is outside your control. You have health issues, financial issues, some person skills make you unhappy because you are helpless.
Yeah. We are helpless when some problems come in our life. Yeah. Situations being out of our control. Ravi, you had a point?
not exactly what that's the main
Yeah, yeah.
why I'm unhappy with the job. They don't get a job, but they are losing the job, right? Or they are feeling good job.
Yeah, yeah. So either lamenting about the past or uh, being fearful about the future. Okay. Anything else?
The other thing could be like, like that is that why we are looking for happiness, not only that, right? We are just looking for something, but we don't have happiness or
Yeah, we are looking for happiness, but yeah, we don't know where to find it. Yeah. Yeah, amazing point.
You're saying that even if it's happening, you might not sometimes have it. Like you've achieved all these things, but you're still not happy with what happened.
Yeah,
Wasn't this what you wanted like 5 years? 10, 20 years ago?
yeah.
Yeah, continue.
Even though we get what we want, yeah, we still may not fully appreciate it. We want something more and more. Okay. Now, one thing we can see is there are problems that cause obstruction in our happiness. समस्या जीवन में बहुत समस्या है. Sometimes I may use some Hindi statements. Hope you don't mind. We'll also, of course, translate everything into English. So, yeah, problems in life, they stop us from being happy. Now, what are the various kinds of problems we may face? In fact, we can see problems in two categories. One category of problems is relative. It may be a problem for one person, but it may be a source of happiness. That same phenomena may be a source of happiness for another person. Any examples? Yeah.
Rain, if some farmer is not expecting some rain and it can spoil it, like all the plants and everything, but however, somebody else who enjoys rain, they would like it. So for them it is happiness, for farmer it is problem. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Rain, it's a relative thing. Then what else? Bus- Oh, yeah, yeah. That's a nice example. And anything from the business field? Oh, yeah, competitors. One party gains, the other party naturally has to lose because they are both in competition with each other. Yeah, stocks going up and down. Yeah. Now we are in that situation. Yeah, stocks. So it's yeah, these are relative problems. But then there's another category of problems called the absolute problems. And the scriptures define them as uh, three definitions for absolute problems. Uh, Nobody wants them, nobody can avoid them, and common to all. So once again, here's the definition. The criteria for absolute problems is common to all, nobody wants them, and nobody can avoid them. Now, can you think of some problems that fit in this category? Common to all, nobody wants them, but nobody can avoid them. Death, yeah, wonderful. Calamities. And what else? COVID-19. So, yeah, disease. Yeah, death, disease. Getting old, you are actually hitting the bullseye. You are giving all the perfect answers that are already there in the Gita. So, okay, you said death, disease, aging or old age.
Whoever you love or your people.
Yeah, losing near and dear ones. How devastating that can be. Even the thought of it can feel devastating. Yeah. Okay. So the Gita gives us four problems that fit in this category. There's this verse in Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter, 9th shloka. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanu darshanam. So what are they? Janma, yeah, we haven't discussed this part. Welcome. Yeah. So, yeah, you already pointed out Mrityu is in this category, death. Jara means old age. The Sanskrit word Jara, it's the root of many English words as well. Gerontology, geriatrist, or geriatrician, whatever. So it's yeah, Jara is a Sanskrit word meaning old age. So Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, which means diseases. And now this could be a little confusing. It needs some more context to understand. Why is Lord Krishna saying that birth is one of the absolute problems? It's a little mysterious, at least for the first session it will be. We will get to fully appreciate this when we understand how the soul transmigrates from one body to another. Is there life after death? Is there some cycle of birth and death? No, we are not going to discuss that in the first session. It's going to come in some sessions. Life after death, is it a fact or a fiction? And then in connection with that, birth, as Lord Krishna says, is also one of these problems that fits into the absolute category. Okay, so yeah, that's the verse from Bhagavad Gita, 13.9. Now, and besides these, there are besides these four, there are three other categories of miseries that also fit into absolute problems. There are adhyatmic, it's called adhyatmic klesh, troubles caused by our own body and mind. Can we think of some? Does our mind and body ever trouble us, or is it always cooperative? Everything is cool and nice and easy. Not. Yeah, it could be old age related, but even in youth, is the body and mind always fine and cooperative? It can cause troubles. Yeah. Yeah, so many pains and mental troubles, mental distress. Okay, so adhyatmic klesh, that's problems caused by our own body and mind. The mind may just not be able to focus on something. We may be trying to forget something. No, no, I don't want to think of this. But still, it keeps coming back, keeps entering the mind. Wanting more and more. Yeah. Yes. So, adhyatmic. And then there's adi bhautik, miseries caused by other living entities. Do we ever observe any such miseries, or there are no such miseries? Jealousy, yeah. Then mosquitoes biting. We don't want them, but yeah, it happens. Sometimes, yeah, there's one joke. One man, usually he used to come back home from office at around 5 p.m. But one fine day, he came home at 2 p.m. and his wife asked him, "Why are you coming so early?" So he said, "My boss told me go to hell. So I'm coming." So I'm here. So yeah, misery is caused by others. It could happen in relationships, father and son, husband and wife, two friends, two colleagues, boss and subordinate, and then miseries due to other living entities, non-human species. So yeah, these are adi bhautik klesh. And then some other problems that become obstructions in our pathway to happiness is Adi Daivik, natural calamities. They are neither caused by our own body and mind nor by some other living entities, but some natural forces. Could get too hot. Just a few weeks ago, there was a heat wave over a few days in the Bay Area. Too hot or too cold, too much rain, too much wind. So, troubles caused by natural factors. So, there's one wise man who made an interesting statement. As a rule, man is a fool. He wants it hot when it is cool. He wants it cool when it is hot. Always wanting what is not. So, yeah, these two could cause obstruction in our happiness. Now, we come to, let's check on time. Okay, we are still doing okay on time. So now, in our search for happiness, it's worth discussing this section. What is the difference between humans and animals? And what are the similarities? Or are there no similarities and differences? So, I would like to ask you, do you think there are any similarities between humans and animals? Life, yeah, survival, caring for the offspring, yeah. Anything else? Yeah, they also live in the groups and families, yeah. Anything else? Eating, yeah. Just like we eat, animals also eat. They are looking for their food. Drinking water, breathing, wonderful, yeah. Aging, yeah. Yeah, those absolute problems hold true for animals as well, yeah. Birth, old age, disease, death, yeah. Same thing happens in animals as well. So, there's one beautiful verse in the Mahabharata, I think. Ahara nidra bhayamaithunam cha सामान्यमेतत् पशुभिर्नराणाम् धर्मो हि तेषाम् अधिको विशेषो धर्मेण हीनाः पशुभिः समानाः. So this verse talks about four things that are common to humans and animals. Actually, these are four broad categories. We may come up with an endless list of many similarities, but if we try to broadly categorize them, we can come across four broad categories of similarities between humans and animals. And what are they? Ahar, eating; nidra, sleeping; bhay, bhay means fear and also defense in taken in a different context, because fear naturally leads to defense. So defending, and maithun meaning reproduction, the male female attraction that happens, just like it happens among humans, it happens in the animal species as well. So yeah, uh, just like we eat food in nice plates, but animals also eat, they eat their food. Eating may happen in different conditions. A tiger, it has to catch its prey, and in order to survive and fill its belly. But humans don't. When we are sitting to have our meals, our plate doesn't run away from us. So our plate is there before us. So eating, but yeah, the experience of eating is the same basically. We may eat in restaurants, and we may feel some satisfaction about having eaten good food. Animals feel their own sense of satisfaction in eating whatever they eat. So it's a common thing. So eating is not really something that distinguishes human beings from animals, though we may do it in a somewhat more polished way. Sleeping, we may sleep in a bungalows on nice soft mattresses, but animals also sleep. in India, at least, we see street dogs. In the US, that example won't make much sense, but uh, yeah, a dog may sleep in the streets or consider any other animal. And the experience of sleeping, which basically gives relief from fatigue, that experience is the same for animals as well as humans. We may do it in a more polished way, but yet sleeping remains a common factor between humans and animals. It's not really a distinguishing factor that makes human beings stand out from animals. Then mating, reproduction. So in animals, there is the male-female attraction, which leads to perpetuation of their species. Same thing happens among humans as well. So in animals, there's something called there's one phenomena called mating rituals. Meaning before the male female come together, there are some sort of rituals. Like for example, it happens in one species, I think lion and lioness. Before their mating season, when the lion comes closer to the lioness, she shouts very violently and drives him away. She does it for a few days, in increasing his uh, eagerness. And then finally, she also, one fine day, in a welcoming way, she welcomes him, and yeah, that's how some mating happens between them. So these are called mating rituals. Now, human beings may also have their own mating rituals. Going out somewhere, eating from the same ice cream cone, both the buddies, mating buddies, specifically talking about male and female. And yeah, male, the male and female in human species may try to have a more romantic experience by putting some perfumes, pour homme and pour femme bottles from France, right? Of course, we are not saying perfumes should not be used. The point here is it's not the distinguishing factor that makes human beings special. It's not our perfume bottles that make us special, and neither is it the. Okay, I'll come to that example later. So yeah, a common thing, the actual act, and before that some rituals around that act. They happen in all species, animals as well as humans. And then there's defending. So we may think we have nice missiles and nuclear weapons. Don't animals have their defense systems? Let's try pulling the tail of a dog and we'll get to experience its defense system. So yeah, animals also defend. We may defend in a more sophisticated way, but animals also defend. So these four things, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, they are common between humans and animals. Now, what makes human beings special? How are we different? How do we stand apart from animals? And this is something very relevant for our session today. You had a point? Think.
Our mind. We have the power to control our mind.
We have the power to control our mind. Yeah. Animals usually act on impulses, but human beings can be more thoughtful. Yeah, wonderful point. Anything else? Yeah.
You said like if we pull dog's tail, he or she will bite or will get scared or something. It will be an impulsive action, but if somebody will hit us or whatever, we have time to think and analyze that. Can we, like, will it be right? Can we hit back or shall we report or what should we do? We can think. So, ability to do the critical thinking.
Yeah, wonderful. The sense of discrimination. Yeah, what is right, what is wrong. Yeah. Yeah, speaking. Yeah, we have advanced languages. Yeah. communication is still there among animals. They're a different form of communication. We see so many honeybees having a very advanced. Oh, there are some videos, scientific videos showing how honeybees form a beehive and collect honey. Oh, it's a very well organized system. Hmm. So they certainly do communicate in some ways, though much more rudimentary to the human styles of communication. Hmm. But yeah, still, our style of communication is certainly a step ahead of theirs. Wonderful. Yeah. Any other points? Yeah, Vikasji. Consciousness. Yeah. You have an advanced consciousness. Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah. In fact, yeah, the answer you gave is also there in that verse I had recited some time back. In fact, let all of us recite this verse together. Would you like to repeat after me? We'll go line by line. There are 4 lines. Uh, I can recite one line. Please repeat after me. Ahara nidra bhayamaithunam cha सामान्यमेतत् पशुभिर्नराणाम् धर्मो हि तेषाम् अधिको विशेषो धर्मेण हीनाः पशुभिः समानाः. Yeah, so the first 2 lines, they talk about the common things that we just spoke about. Ahar, eating. Nidra, what is Nidra? Sleeping. Bhay, defending. And Maithun, mating. Yeah. Samanyam, what does Samanyam mean? Common, yeah, similar between both humans and non-humans. Pashubhir Narana, Pashus are animals, Nar, human beings. These 4 things are common things. These 4 things really don't make human beings special in any way over animals. We may do them in more polished ways, but still, these are common things. But what distinguishes human beings from animals is dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho. This is the additional feature in human beings. It's not there in animals. Dharmena hina pashubhi samana. And without this feature, human beings end up being no better than animals, just a polished version of animals. So, what is this dharma? Dharma is a very multifaceted word in our Vedic scriptures. Sometimes the word dharma may be looked upon critically, that, oh, dharma, religion leads to all conflicts and fights. But dharma has a deeper meaning. It has a universal, non-sectarian meaning. So dharma talks about our essential nature and our connection with divinity. Dharma leads us to a spiritual inquiry. As Jyotsna ji was saying, human beings have the ability to inquire, who am I? Where have I come from? Why am I suffering? I want to always be happy, but yeah, it looks like there's a pinprick. I'm unable to always be happy. Human beings can ask these questions, but animals cannot. So in many other things, animals may be more advanced than human beings. In certain skills, spider webs. Oh, actually, spider webs are so intricately created. Human beings, it's difficult for human beings to imitate them. Human beings even make some bulletproof jackets, I think, out of spider webs. I have some rough understanding about that. But yeah, human beings take so many things from nature. We cannot produce milk. Given grass, we cannot just produce milk. But cows, they do give us milk. So many things that animals are more skilled at than us. So, yeah, in eating, sleeping, mating, defending, we may have our own polished ways, but there are, in each of these fields, there are animals that surpass human beings. Can Any human being eat like an elephant can eat? We don't compare with elephants. Hmm. Elephants can eat tons and tons of food. Hmm. So sleeping, polar bears, no comparison with them, how much they can sleep. Hmm. So sometimes students in hostels, they brag about how much I slept. But polar, yeah, we cannot compare with polar bears. Then mating, there are animals who can do much more. In a day, 60 times I've heard pigeons, they can mate those many times. If a human being tries to do, yeah, that could lead to death as well. Mating, defending, yeah, defending we may be more advanced with our guns and missiles, but yet what makes us special is dharma, the spiritual inquiry. Yeah, the ability to the intelligence to spiritually inquire. And what kind of inquiry? Basically, it begins with why am I suffering in this world? What is my origin? Where have I come from? Does the cosmos have a purpose, or are we meant to just keep living, just drag our existence from birth to death, or from womb to tomb, to put it? The intelligence to spiritually inquire and to get answers to those inquiries. Yeah. So in that context, dharma means that. Dharma also has another meaning, our essential spiritual nature. Hmm. My dharma is to do this. My dharma is not this. My dharma is that. Can be used in that context as well. So in this context, it specifically refers to our ability to spiritually inquire. Who am I? Why am I suffering in this world? What is our origin? Is there a creator at all? If yes, what connection do we have with the creator of everything? So that is dharma, and that spiritual inquiry leads to a wonderful way of life as well. So there's in this connection, there's a anecdotal story. Once, when the great conqueror Alexander the Great, he was on his conquests of so many lands. He had come to India as well. So at one particular place, at night, his men caught one thief trying to steal something from their camp. And the thief was brought by them to Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great ordered a very heavy punishment. I think kill him, behead him. How dare he comes to my camp to steal something. So then that thief said, wait, sir, one thing, just let me speak. Can I speak before you punish me? He said, okay, go ahead. Then that thief said, we are not very different. I'm the same as you. Alexander the Great was bewildered, shocked. What do you mean? You are the same as me. That thief said, sir, I'm just a small scale thief, but you are a big scale thief. I do small scale thefts. In the night, I go to some this place, that place. I steal some small things. But you, on the other hand, in the broad daylight, you walk with your soldiers and you conquer different lands. And you are a thief in one sense. And Alexander was impressed by this answer. It agitated him, it agitated his ego, of course, but he was impressed nevertheless. He released that thief. Now, what does this story mean for us? If without dharma, human beings simply become animal the Great. Just like the thief versus Alexander the Great, we may become animal the Great. Just a greater version of animal life. So, of course, I'm not saying that. This verse says so. So, yeah. So, what is spiritual inquiry? Inquiries such as who am I? Where have I come from? Where do I go after this life has been exhausted? Is there life after death? Or is this world, what is this world all about? Is this the all in all? Just going about my daily activities, earning my daily bread, and just dragging on with existence. Is this the all in all? And why am I happy at some times and sad at other times? Why do bad things happen to good people? So these inquiries is what distinguishes human beings from animals. So let's inquire. That's and this kind of inquiry can lead us on the pathway to real happiness. In fact, uh, the scriptures stands on our happiness. Sometimes people may have this misconception that, oh, saints and scriptures, they don't want us to be happy. They want us to become stoics, hmm, not trying to be happy at any time. Oh, actually, the scriptures identify that it's the essential nature of every living being to want to be happy, and the scriptures point living entities, especially the human beings, toward the ultimate source of happiness. So, yeah, the scriptures don't say deprive yourself of happiness, just be strict and deprive yourself. Rather, the scriptures are pointing us to where happiness actually exists. So, now I thought this could be an optional section, but yet it, it's a nice section to cover. Maybe we may go, it's already 8:15, but since we anyway started a little late today, we had our intros. So if you don't mind, we'll cover this section as well. We have some nice entertaining videos as well in this section. So maybe even if it has been monotonous so far, we will see some nice videos now in this section. So, what is the Gita stance on our happiness? The scriptures actually want us to be happy. Not the other way around. It's not that the scriptures are saying don't be happy. But yet, there's one statement. This is from one scripture. Vedah Puranam Kavyam cha Prabhurmitram Priyevacha cha Bodhayanti Hit Prahus Trivrid Bhagavatam Punah. The Vedic scriptures, the Puranas, the poetic compositions given to us by the sages, which are divine revelations. Sometimes they instruct us like a master, like a teacher. Do this, don't do this. Sometimes they may instruct us like a friend. Dear brother, dear sister, please don't head in that direction. It's not beneficial for you. Please head in this direction. That is beneficial for you. Sometimes like a lover. So they may instruct us like a master or a friend or a lover. But all of it is being done to give mankind a good direction toward the purpose of life. Uh, so, so in this connection, the scriptures also talk about, are we searching for happiness in the right place? Yes, the scriptures fully acknowledge the Bhagavad Gita and other Vedic literatures. They fully acknowledge the essential need of every living being to want to be happy all the time. But yet we sometimes see scriptures may prohibit certain things in life. No, don't do this. This is not good. And sometimes it may be passed down as traditions. And when uh, when it is passed down as traditions, and usually when elders are not able to give proper answers, usually youngsters lose faith in all of it. Oh, why all of this? If I don't know the why behind it, doesn't make sense. Yeah, in one sense, yeah, we can empathize with the youngsters as well. If they don't know the answers to why, maybe they tend to reject. But yet, if we try to go deeper and understand what is the message the Gita is trying to give us, the Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam. This verse specifically is talking about one scripture called Bhagavatam. What is it trying to tell us? In what direction is it trying to lead us? And then we see that, oh, actually, these texts, they are actually leading us to happiness. They are showing us a source of happiness. And in the process, they point out that, yeah, the place where we are looking for happiness, there's something, there's some pinprick there. There are some imperfections there. And what is that? We are going to see in this section. So, I would like to ask you a question. We hear in science textbooks, biology especially, we have 5 senses. And what are they? Can we enumerate them? The sense of sight, smell, taste, hearing, and touching. Yeah, touch, the sense of touch. Wonderful. Thank you. So we have these 5 senses. Now, through these 5 senses, what all enters into our system, our body or our mind? What enters yeah, food, words, the experiences of this world. Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, so uh, two broad things enter through these 5 senses: knowledge of this world, everything we now you can see the surroundings. This is an almost a square room. There's a kitchen there. Our eyes enable us to see the surroundings. The ears are enabling us to have an interaction with each other. So yeah, knowledge enters through these 5 senses. But is there something else also that enters through these 5 senses? And that's what we are going to discuss right now. Besides knowledge, what is it that enters through these 5 senses? Sorry? Thoughts? Okay. Yeah, thoughts are certainly triggered by the inputs we receive from our surroundings. Yeah. Anything else? Thoughts is a good answer, by the way. But
We create some sanskar to these senses, like whether it is positive or negative, depending on the associations that we have. We can either be motivated, inspired, or like get some good sanskar in us, or maybe can get some toxic as well.
yeah, wonderful. Samskaras. Yeah. Actually, that answer is a little more advanced, a step ahead. One simple thing. Yeah. Judgment. Okay. Yeah. Experiences. Yeah. Pleasure, basically. Pleasure also enters through these 5 senses. So uh, now we are going to talk about one paradigm altogether. The scriptures point out our search for happiness in this world simply boils down to seeking happiness through these 5 senses. And the scriptures say that's not the ultimate place happiness really comes from. Because happiness that comes through the 5 senses is temporary, it's titillating. It's a mere titillation. Does someone know the exact dictionary definition of titillation? My approximate understanding is titillation means it comes, hovers on a superficial platform for some time and then leaves. Titillates us and goes away. Temporary, yeah. Flickering pleasure. Instant gratification. Yeah, Maya in one sense. Yeah. Maya is a very broad word. Yeah, but wonderful. So, happiness that is sought through these 5 senses merely has a titillating effect. Doesn't really go inside and give us deep happiness. So, now the scriptures talk about this kind of happiness as Indriya is a Sanskrit term for the senses. So Indriya Tripti or Indriya Bhog, that is the term, technical term used in Sanskrit for happiness obtained through senses. In English, we may simply use terms like sense gratification or sensual enjoyment. Enjoyment, which is simply based on senses. It simply has a titillating effect, doesn't really give lasting happiness. So that is what sense pleasure is. And now, in this connection, we will watch one small video. I'll probably need some help from our. Oh, okay. Here they are. Okay, there's no volume and it's not even important. Oh, not showing? Okay, okay. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to show this video, but would we need? Okay, okay. Hope it's visible now. There's one man. He's a funny video. Hmm. Did everyone get to see what it was? uh, Basically, he had some high expectation. So there'll be so much happiness out there. Hmm. But yeah, it was gone in 1 second. Hmm. Now, this kind of happiness is happiness obtained through senses. Hmm. So, in this connection, some saints give us analogies with five yeah, with each of the five senses, we have examples of some non-human species from whom we can learn something. Hmm. So the moths, if we see, they are irresistibly attracted to fire. In sometimes in winters, it has been observed they try to wherever some fire is put on inside homes to heat the home, moths try to enter frantically, hitting against the window. They are so irresistibly attracted to fire, and they don't realize it's not beneficial for them to go too close to fire, and many of them they get burnt by entering into fire. So which sense is involved here? Eyes. Wonderful, yeah. Their eyes are irresistibly attracted to fire. Next. After moths, elephants, yeah. You know the traditional way elephants are captured? Some female elephant is trained in a certain way. She goes close to a male elephant. If a male elephant has to be captured, some hunters play this trick. They train a female elephant. That female elephant goes very close to a male elephant and brushes past him, touches him, and titillates a sense of skin pleasure in that male elephant. That male elephant gets excited and runs after her. But she is trained in such a way to maneuver through the pathways in such a way that she will not get trapped, but the male elephant, a ditch is created and the male elephant falls into that. So that's one way hunters catch male elephants. So which sense is involved here? The sense of touch, yeah. Can trap one, basically. So having uncontrolled senses can have a trapping effect. Then there's this deer. Hunters often catch deer by playing some sweet flute. And deers, they get attracted to it. They go toward that source, and hunters catch them. So which sense is involved here? Ears. the ears of the deers. And cannot. Okay, yeah. And how are fishes often caught by fishermen? They use a bait, a hook, and there's a bait, a meaty bait put on that. And the fishes are irresistibly attracted to that. They rush toward it, competing with each other. Who will reach faster? Hmm? And the fish that wins and gets hold of that bait thinks, "Oh, see, I have won. I have won." Little does he know that that bait is a trap. And that bait, sure enough, it catches the fish. So which sense is involved here? Taste, yeah. It wants to taste that meaty bait. How can I miss this feast? But the fish gets trapped. And now is the example of the fifth sense. Some bees usually are attracted by flowers. They go from flower to flower, collecting nectar from every flower. Sometimes what happens is bees, they get so absorbed sucking nectar from certain flowers, and if those flowers close at night, the bees get caught in it, and yeah, they die. By next morning, they are dead. So, which sense goes out of control here, which leads to their death? The sense of smell. Yeah. Now, same examples. I'll leave it as a homework. You may translate it to the human species as well. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Indriyanam hicharatam yanmano nuvidhiyate tadasya harati prajnam vayurnavamevam bhasi. I think this is 2.67, second chapter, 67th verse. So, just like a wind can carry away a boat, suppose a boat is trying to go in one direction on a sea or ocean, but a strong wind can sweep it away in another direction. Similarly, Lord Krishna is saying, even one of the senses on which the mind focuses can carry away a man's intelligence. So, basically, the scriptures are the Gita. Even in this verse, I just quoted 2.67, I think that's the number. The word Indriya comes here. Indriyanam hicharatam. So Indriya, it's the pleasure of the senses. For homework, maybe if some of you like walking away with some homework, we can share some verses. You might want to just read through, just an optional homework, not mandatory. If you would like, I can share some verses. In fact, let me share it now. If in 2.54, Arjun asks one question to Krishna. My dear Lord Krishna, what are the symptoms of a man or a woman whose consciousness is absorbed in transcendence, who is deriving a higher form of happiness? And then 2.55 onward, Lord Krishna starts speaking until 2.72. The second chapter has 72 verses. Krishna is speaking about, he repeatedly uses a term called Sthita Pragya. And he says how a Sthita Pragya seeks happiness at a higher platform than just the sensual platform. A Sthita Pragya is controlled in his or her senses. So wonderful verses to go through. And in many places there, Krishna uses the words Indriya, senses. So, yeah. Now, in this connection, there's one more video from one Bollywood movie. Now, I was initially hesitant to include this because I was afraid maybe our thoughts shouldn't go into Bollywood and never to come back into the session. But still, if you promise me, you won't think too much about it, and if you don't, after going home, if you promise that you won't do too much research on which movie it is, and of course you may identify the actors, then I'll go ahead and we'll play this video. Small video, This is also illustrative. Just like we watched that previous video, this video also has some lesson to teach us. Of course, I personally don't watch Bollywood movies. Uh, this spirituality is so satisfying. One doesn't feel the need to watch, but still, in my childhood, I used to. So I had, while preparing for this session, I had some memory of this. I thought it's relevant. So we'll watch this video. What happened? I, oh, okay. I clicked on this, hoping to play it. It got deleted. Maybe we'll have to download again. Okay, okay. Oh, I see. Okay, okay, sure. Oh, yes, yes. Would you like to? We can pack dinner for you. Okay, okay. Thank you. Nice meeting you. So, this third video. Again, volume is not so important. Hindi or English is not so important. Maybe I should reduce the volume. Volume. Yeah, volume. कम कर हाँ थोड़ा we reduce the volume because the words are not so important, but there's some lesson here. Now look at him. Okay, that's all. So, is this video illustrative in any way? Is it talking about any sense that somehow went out of control and got him into trouble? Yeah, sight, yeah. So, yeah, running after indriya tripti or sense gratification can land one up in embarrassing situations. Now, does this mean the scriptures don't want us to be happy at all? Yeah, this video also we saw again. Yeah, even if whatever he was hoping, this video which we watched some time back, He thought he found a nice lady, but when that so-called lady turns behind, happened to be a man. But even if it was what he was hoping, maybe some potential girlfriend, still, after some time, the same experience which he got right now, that, oh, no, this is not what I'm really looking for. Even with a real girlfriend, it would have just been after some time, that same feeling of not feeling, being fulfilled could have come after some time. So, yeah, sense pleasure, it's really doesn't lead to real happiness. So, what are the scriptures pointing toward? A completely different dimension of happiness. There's one famous traditional story, and we'll end with this. This deer called musk deer. It releases, its body has a special type of fragrance. In fact, the musk perfumes are made out of this. Now, this deer, it feels irresistibly attracted to this smell of this musk smell. Runs through mountains, runs to lakes, goes here, there, runs into woods. Sometimes it may, out of a frantic search, it may even die. Little does it realize that the musk smell is coming from within. Similarly, the Gita is pointing us. Real happiness is available much more easily than we can think. In fact, sensual happiness is sought after much hard labor. But real happiness, which the Gita is pointing, comes from a different dimension, a spiritual dimension. It's more easily available. You have to look within. And the Gita and other literature in the Vedic canon give us some simple techniques to be happy and satisfied in life. So yeah, this was our first session, beginning with our search for happiness. And as we proceed through this course, we will get a good gist of the Bhagavad Gita and what the Gita is especially teaching us. So we'll end here. We would have loved to have a Q&A or, by the way, sometimes after this session on the search for happiness, in the end, some participants say, "Oh, I thought I'll feel happy after attending this, but I feel more unhappy." So I hope that's not the effect this session has had on you. And of course, the Gita and other scriptures in the Vedic canon, they don't want us in any way to become unhappy. Rather, they want to help us become happy. And they're pointing us toward the source of happiness. Okay, thank you, everyone. We are a little over time, or rather, well over time. Thank you, and thanks to you as well. Thanks for your participation. You gave amazing answers. We usually end our sessions with reflections. We go around, everyone shares some reflections, some take home message from the session. But today, we don't have that much time since we also had introductions in the beginning. But next session onward, we will certainly do that. And sharing reflections or take home message helps us fortify the understanding we have received from that session. Again, I don't consider myself a teacher or anything. I'm just here to make friends with you. And I also get to learn through this process. Gratitude to Lord Krishna for speaking the Bhagavad Gita. Gratitude to Arjuna for asking so many wonderful questions. Gratitude to all the great saints who have passed down this pristine message. Gratitude to the chain of temples ISKCON that is so wonderfully facilitating, enabling us to have this forum. Gratitude to our hosts here, and gratitude to each one of you for coming here and participating. If you liked anything from today's session, please know it to be the glory of Bhagavad Gita and all the great teachers who have passed it down. And if you found any flaws in today's presentation, you may attribute them to my own personal shortcomings. Okay, thank you so much. And yeah, I have been an obstacle between you and the delicious dinner all this while. Let's have a dinner and we'll interact during the dinner. Okay, thank you. Take care. Uh, th- Thank you. I feel fortunate for this chance, opportunity. Yeah. श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय.